everyone, my name is Jennifer Klitsky, and this is Makana. She's my naturally gaited Tennessee walking horse mare. She's 19 years old, and we've been together for 16 years. And also with me is Marvel. He's my 5-year-old naturally gaited Tennessee walking horse, spotted saddle horse, and he's been under saddle for a little over a year now. So many of us, including myself, are so anxious to start that smooth gait. And when we began our journey to smooth gaits, what I noticed is that the quicker her steps were, the shorter her steps were. And I wanted lengthened steps, not shorter steps. The best way for us to develop smooth gaits and develop lengthened strides for the hind leg steps was to slow the walk down. And what I noticed is that by taking the time to develop a quality free walk really helped develop a quality flat walk with longer steps. So how do I develop a quality free walk? Great question. I ride with even steady contact, a light contact with both hands with the snaffle bit. I use a snaffle bit because I ride dressage. Now, there are other ways of riding. This is just the way that I ride. First step, I teach my horse how to accept a snaffle bit contact. And by teaching the horse to lower its head and neck out, not to the ground, but to a neck extension position, is best. And the reason I say this is that when the nose is at the ground level, it really draws the weight of the horse onto the forehand more. And I don't want to train my horse that way. I want to train my horse in more balance. So, having the horse in more of a neck extension, where the pole, the place between their ears, is level with the wither as the neck extends out, and I allow the throat latch area to be open so that the nose is pointed ahead of the vertical. Then what I do is I become aware of her belly sway with each hind leg step. And so I start noticing this belly sway, and I start noticing my hip joints and my lower back. And I like to have relaxation, yet core tone. So there's a balance there. I don't want tension, otherwise that will cause shorter steps. But I want to follow without getting sloppy. Yet I don't want to drive my horse forward. What I want to do is follow with my hip joints. It's like my hip joints will walk with each step. So why is this important? Well, in dressage, the timing for effective cues to communicate to the horse is so important, especially for helping the horse develop longer strides. So if you're traveling on a 20-meter circle going clockwise, your right calf will be on the inside of the circle. And as you're at a walk, the belly sway will dip down and out. And as that happens, that's when the horse's inside hind leg is stepping under the belly. And when that belly sway dips down and out, that's when you're going to want to squeeze with your calf and release as that belly sway dips down and out, because that's when the hind leg is stepping under the body, and that's when you can best influence a deeper step. So I'm not going to want to squeeze and release with every step. Otherwise, my horse will tune me out. So as soon as my horse takes that deeper step, I will stop cueing. Now, if my horse ignores my squeeze and release, I can follow it up with a tap of the whip on the same side at the same time as the squeeze and release. The other thing I can do is do a cluck sound at the timing of my leg aid and or my whip tapping. So the cluck sound would be like this. The other thing you'll notice is that the horse will oftentimes take a longer step with one side and a shorter step with the other side. And that is common with any horse. The reason is horses are generally born right-handed or left-handed. And there's a side of the body that stretches easier than the other. And when you're on a circle, the inside of the circle is a smaller circle than the outside of the circle. So if your horse is stiff on the outside, it's going to be harder for them to be taking that longer stride on the outside of that circle. And this is important to notice because if you notice your horse is struggling traveling one direction on a circle more than the other, do the harder circle more than the easy circle, because over time you will help your horse become more ambidextrous. And the horse's strides will become more even over time. The other thing I've noticed is that I have a favorite direction I like to travel because I'm right-handed. So I need to be aware of this because if I'm always traveling my favorite direction and it's also my horse's favorite direction, I'm going to be compromising where my horse needs to improve, as well as myself as a rider. Now, there's another thing that's important to know, is that encouraging the horse to take a deeper step under its belly is only 1/2 of the length of stride. The other half is the horse's leg on the outside that's pushing. So there's a pushing leg and there's a carrying leg. And we want the horse to be stepping deep under its belly, but we also want that length of stride behind the tail. This is the full length of stride. So for me, the best way to establish full length of stride is at a slow free walk with deliberate big steps. So why is this important? Well, if you think about it, a quality walk is a 4-beat even stride. This is the same sequence of steps we want when we move to the flat walk. And for those horses that are born with more pacey or step pacey steps, the walk will really help develop that muscle memory for when they go into the flat walk from a quality free walk. I like to train my horses on a 20-meter circle because 20-meter circle will help the horse develop strength as it steps under its belly with the inside hind leg, and it will also help the horse stretch the muscles on the outside of the body on the circle. But when you're traveling on a straight line, this is not happening. I'm not saying that I never travel on a straight line. I'm just saying I like to train my horses on a circle or a serpentine or something with a bend. Now, I also want to mention that I ride with a snaffle bit, and I ride with even steady contact with both reins. And I follow my horse's natural head and neck motion with my hands. Why do I do this? Well, like I said earlier, I teach dressage to my horses using a snaffle bit, and I'm teaching my horse to accept and follow a light contact. So if I'm holding my horse with my hands and not following, I'm going to create tension in my horse's mouth, and they're not going to want to accept that tension. So that tension is going to have an effect throughout my horse's body, especially for horses that tend to pace or step pace. That will exacerbate that issue. And for those horses that don't have a propensity for pace and step pace, that tension can lead to pace. So what I'm saying is relaxation is the key. Relaxation in the mouth, relaxation in the body is the key to establishing a quality, smooth gait with long strides. And so that's why I follow my horse's head and neck motion, and I teach my horses to accept and follow a snaffle bit contact. So that relaxation within the mouth and the body of the horse and the relaxation of the rider's hip joints and lower back at the free walk will really help the horse develop a quality free walk with lengthened strides that in time will lead to smoother gaits. And those smoother gaits will have longer strides as long as you did your homework. So, what I like to do is once I've established a quality free walk and the horse is traveling fairly evenly with both hind legs, then I will ask the horse to take up more tempo and step into a smooth gait. And before they start getting quick or begin to pace or step pace, I will return to the free walk. What's important is practicing quality steps. Over time, one step will lead to 5 steps, will lead to a circle, will lead to a minute, and 5 minutes, and on and on. I hope this has been helpful. Thanks for joining us, and come visit us at naturallygated.com, and please subscribe to this YouTube channel.